create events that seemed real at the time, but weren't real at all. So things that happened out of sequence, that if you put them in a different order, suddenly seem like they're making a story. Or if you take sound from one scene and put it to a vision of another scene, it seems like people are having sex, but they never were. So that sort of distortion of reality has been, what's the word I'm looking for? Evidenced, you know, like there's proof of that sort of thing. Chekhov wrote plays. Yes, it happened on stage, but his goal was to say that life is more like a Seinfeld episode. And I will hold up to you that Seinfeld remains the most postmodern, real-life type thing on television, okay? And why? Because it was not concerned with drama. It was not concerned with trying to make things happen. Chekhov introduced the anti-climax, which is something I think we could all take a lesson from. So after you leave my talk in the next 5 minutes, is this going to completely change your life? Are you going to go off? You know, like, it's not going to launch you into some climax that's going to happen afterward. It happened, it's over, goodbye. That's often the way life is, you know? I have my coffee, it's done. Not very many things are, let's build to a climax. And so what Chekhov gives us in Uncle Vanya in particular are 4 acts that end this way. So in the first act of Uncle Vanya, you find out that Elena, who is a beautiful young woman and is married to an older man, everyone's in love with her, including Vanya, sort of the protagonist of the story. And at the very end of Act 1, he confesses his love to her. And he basically says, after everyone else leaves, I love you, you are my happiness, you are my youth, my chances, I just want to be with you. She says, be quiet, someone will hear us. He says, just let me tell you what I'm thinking, just let me share with you my happiness. She says, this is excruciating. She walks away. He follows her. People in the background read. I don't know if you can appreciate what happened there. That is an anti-climax, okay? We expect either a big, get the hell away from me scene, or the big passionate kiss scene, or something, but instead, that's not really how life works. Most of life is this is annoying. And people go about their business. And that's why Seinfeld, I think the show about nothing, was actually far more real and postmodern than anything you'll see on reality TV today. Act 2 of Uncle Vanya. Again, each of these acts just builds to what you're hoping will be a climactic moment, and then resolves in such a way that it frustrates you. So, in this scene, Elena, again, the beautiful woman everyone's in love with, and Sonia, the less pretty stepdaughter, are talking about how unhappy they are and all their emotions, and Elena says, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play the piano. I will play the piano like I haven't played in years. I'm going to play and cry like an idiot. She's going to have an emotional climax. And instead, Sonia comes in and says, we can't play the piano, it'll wake Papa up. End of scene. Okay. So again, this sense of we plan for things to happen, they don't happen. And yes, it can take script writers or a team of script writers on a reality TV show to sort of construct that scene. And instead, let's show another scene where Elena happens to be crying because she tripped, okay? Let's put it together with the piano thing. You don't know, okay? And so I think we're left with this sense of life being in this, not meaningless, although it opens up the way for absurdist theater in the sense of, you know, nothing means anything, but that there's value, there's worth in small little things, you know? Jess, I like your skirt. You know? Yeah.
I'd like to let you know that the anticlimax just occurred while you were talking. It was a fantastic moment because it was so poignant. You were talking and a girl comes up. I know. She goes, what's going on? Like, Eric is giving a speech about the anticlimax. She goes, shrugs her shoulders, walks away and says, I have class.
Exactly. Right. That's what life is. And in a sense, that makes life funny. It makes life comic. And I think if you sort of look for those things, that, you know, there's an entire scene here about the tea being cold. You know, the tea is cold, I know. And then Elena calls someone by the wrong name. He's like, that's not really my name. My name is such and such. And then it's like, oh. Like, that's what life is made of. These weird little, strange, funny moments. So I have no objection to reality TV as a game show. You know, I loved Survivor. I like that show where, like, the mean chef yells at everyone. You know, I like that. But to call it reality TV strikes me as a misnomer and a bastardization of what reality is. Because drama was moving towards reality in the 1890s with Chekhov, and then it kind of got perverted into this other thing.